You are a woman, not a rehabilitation center for broken men. The hardest lesson some women ever learn is that love cannot do another person's work for them. You met him when he was struggling. He had an excuse for everything. One day it was alcohol, the next day it was anger. Then it became debt, lies and bad decisions, and promises that never lasted longer than few days. Every time something went wrong, he came to you carrying another problem. Every time you opened the door, you listened for hours. You gave advice, you gave money, you gave second chances, the third chance, and then chances you could no longer count. Whenever people warned you, you defended him. He's going through a lot. He wasn't always like this. Deep down, he's a good person. These were your words. You kept speaking for him because he refused to speak for himself. You kept cleaning up mess that he created. You kept carrying loads that belonged on his shoulders. You the strange thing was that the more you helped him, the less responsible he became. One evening, after another argument, he sat there explaining why his last mistake was somebody else's fault. His boss was unfair. His friends were bad influence. His family did not support him. The economy was difficult. Everybody had a role in his problem except the one person staring back at him in the mirror. That was the moment something finally came clear. He did not need a girlfriend. He did not need a wife. He did not need a rescuer. He did not need accountability. But accountability is something nobody can give another person. It must come from within. You began to notice a pattern. When he lose opportunity, he search for solutions. When he damaged relationship, you try to repair them. When he made reckless choices, you suffered the consequences alongside him. Little by little, your life started revolving around fixing situation you never created. You stopped focusing on your own dreams. You stopped enjoying your own peace. You became exhausted, not because life was difficult, because you were carrying two lives instead of one. Then one day a friend asked you a question. If he never changes, can you do this for another 5 years? The room became silent because for the first time you were not thinking about his potential. You were looking at his reality. Potential is dangerous when it becomes an excuse to ignore what is happening right now. Many women stay because they are in love with who they are in love with who a man many women stay because they are in love of who the man could become, while meanwhile they are suffering because of who he has chosen to be. You finally understood something important. A woman cannot encourage, a woman can encourage, a woman can support, a woman can pray, a woman can stand beside a man, but she cannot walk his journey for him. She cannot attend recovery on his behalf. She cannot break his addiction for him. She cannot force maturity into him. She cannot create discipline inside someone who keeps running from responsibility. Those are battles he must fight for himself. The day you stopped rescuing him was the day he became angry, not because you were wrong, because he had become comfortable with your help. He was used to you coaching him whenever he fell. He was used to you making excuses for behavior that should have been corrected long ago. Now he had to face the consequences alone. For the first time, there was nobody standing beside him, and the result of his choices and that and the result of his choices and that made him uncomfortable. But your job was never to make him comfortable. Your job was to protect your own well-being. Many women have been taught that sacrificing themselves proves love. That is not that is not always true. Sometimes sacrifice becomes direct self sometimes sacrifices become self destruction. Sometimes loyalty turns into imprisonment. Sometimes helping becomes enabling. There is a difference between supporting someone and carrying them. One is healthy, the other slowly drains the life out of you. The truth is simple. A grown man must take ownership of his own healing. A grown man must decide that enough is enough. A grown man must comfort the habits that are destroying his future. Nobody can make that decision for him. Not his mother, not his friends, not his woman who loves him. You should know that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary because you are a woman, not a rehabilitation center, not a repair shop, not an emergency service for men who refuse to help themselves. You deserve a relationship, not a rescue mission.